So hello, here is a new Raid Shadow Legends video by Nocturnal's ASMR. It is a real Nocturnal's video because at the time of recording this video it's about 3 a.m. on April Fool's Day, April the 1st. The plan today is to pull a few primal shards and see whether we get a mythical champion today. Now, April the 1st, it's maybe not the very best day to pull primal shards, but let's see. Maybe we will be scammed, maybe we will be lucky. So here we are, still fighting a bit the dragon tournament to get a couple more primal quartz, and that's one of the bonuses that you can get by completing a number of points in the dragon tournament. So I'm at about my last runs here. At the same time, we are leveling up champions. Basilisk, who is at 44, Lysandra, who is at 48. Basilisk is in my plan. The next champion I will be leveling up, ranking up to 6 stars and then leveling up to 60. He's still at 5 stars at the moment. My plan is to get 3 rank 6 champions per faction in order to beat higher stages in the faction wars. You need at least a couple of good champions on rank 6 level 60 to actually beat higher stages in the game, because some things you may do with level 50 champions, but to really beat higher stages you need them at level 60. As you can see, we are putting a lot of debuffs on the dragon here. If I'm looking for clan quests, I usually choose those ones where I have to put 10 debuffs on the dragon boss or ice golem or the spider or fire knight. So what's next? Yes, we can see we gained 34 points in this battle. The dungeon divers may have given me some bonuses as well. So it's the 1st of April. Are we gonna get fooled today? Oh, I think I was mistaken. I wanted to get the primal quartz from dungeon divers here. Yes, not in the dragon tournament, but in dungeon divers. So it's a confusing day, a lot of jokes, a lot of scams happening, and people are making fun of each other. So let me know in the comments if you got into a nice joke or if you played a joke on somebody. Today is the day to make fun of other people. So as we could see, I just didn't have enough points for the primal quartz there. Why do I need this primal quartz? Because I have earned earlier in the live arena about 80, I guess it was 80 primal quartz. So if I get this 30 on top of it, I would have an extra primal shards to pull today. Earlier I bought a package that was in the shop of 8 primal shards, and so far so good. I haven't had any luck with mythical champions. Didn't get even one mythical champion, and I have already pulled quite some primal shards, but I seem to get always the worst rares and from time to time an epic. But today is a 2x on mythicals, and I have seen already many videos of content creators who are pulling the very greatest mythical champions one after another. Of course, if you open 300, then yeah, you are promised to hit the Mercy a couple of times. Wait, no, the Mercy is at 200, so with the 2x, yeah. But if I'm going to pull only 9 primal shards, there is not much hope, I guess. But let's see, you never know. Okay, you just need a couple more points from this dragon tournament. From Dungeon Divers, yeah, the dragon tournament counts also towards Dungeon Divers. That's why it was showing the 34 points, but this is for the dragon tournament. It doesn't really show how many points I earned in Dungeon Divers. There was shown a few of the fate coins, as there is at the same time a deck of fate going on, which I suppose is ending today. Alright, how fast are we going to defeat this dragon today? So far in most of my factions I've got two champions on rank 6, and about half of the factions I have 3 in rank 6 champions. So it's a kind of a strategy. I keep track who is the next faction that I'm going to rank up a champion from. So we have now arrived at the Lizardman, and I chosen Lizardman. Basilisk is a pretty good champion. We've seen also one of the top players are using him in the Cursed City nowadays, so it's quite worthy to rank up Basilisk. Lysandra I just got from, I guess, some Prism Pool. Yes, I guess it was in the Prism Pool when the new champion Fina, the faction Guardian champion or faction function, how was it called? Beat the dragon. My hardest hitters are these 2 HP champions, Artak and our Mushroom Man. Orm, I have built him pretty tanky, and I find he's also hitting pretty hard. He is actually one of my best champions. Of course, Geomancer is a typical champion, you can use him everywhere. Lysandra, she is also adding a bit of a speed bonus. Always good to put a champion with a speed aura in the leadership position. Of course it depends. I have recently tried in the Doom Tower. I was beating Scarab King and I had to put Riskarum as my leader there because he has a particular death bonus, puts up shields on the entire team. So that's how I managed to beat the Scarab King. And down he goes. See, it indicates 34 points here again, but this is towards the tournament. Yes, tournament points. It doesn't show, however, what we're earning on the Dungeon Divers. That means we have to go have a look again. Still not enough? We still need 25 points. Okay. So I pause and we are going to do a few more runs on the dragon. And we're back. See, now there is a red dot on the events. That means we must have gotten our... I had 90 out of 100 primal quartz. So... and then adding the 30 that is available from Dungeon Divers, we will be getting one extra, but we will do that later. Let's start pulling our primal shards. And the first one is a rare. Master Butcher, he's not new, I have him already. Yeah, when you're like, you know, level 64 like I am, then you have mostly all rares you must have pulled already. There are here and there. Mavis is new. She looks fancy, but I don't know if she's any good. Epics here and there's still a few missing, and Twinkle Disciple, he's also not that good. And of course legendaries, I'm missing a lot of them. Mythical, Mythical Champions seem to evade me. Suiran. That's an epic. Also new. Shadow Infection. I did not have her yet. Alright, more rares. And it's another rare. War Maiden. Hoi. A totally farmable champion from the campaigns. And you pull her from a primal shard. Another rare spy master. More food. Where are my mythicals? And another rare. No, I think bad luck. This is why on April the 1st you should never pull primal shards. It's just a joke. These primal shards are really jokes. Okay, so collect on the primal quartz. Let's see, we will be still able to pull one more. Yes, collect my primal quartz times 30. That means we make a 100 and have even a few extra for the next one. Fortune deck of fate. There I can also go flip some cards. Collect my primal shard. But we need to make space. Oh, yes. Alright, I have to go and make some space. Quickly put some food into War Maiden. Valerie, the very first farmable champion from a primal shard. Yes, as I said, April the 1st, it's just a fool's day. Okay, no mythicals. Plarium, when are you gonna give me a mythical? Quickly pull the Ascension still. And it's also nothing. Delaja also doesn't want to come to my account. I need her for fusing Lady Mikage, but I also cannot get Lady Mikage as I'm still missing a few champions for the fusion. So it seems Mythical Champions do not want to come to my account. It's so weird. Yeah, that's the randomity of the game. You never know what you're gonna get. You may get lucky, or you may not. Let's see what we do next. Sylvan Watchers. Arbais is the mythical champion of the Sylvan Watchers. As my username in the game is Ifikevron, that is a tribe in the north of the map of the Game of Thrones, and they are forest people. So now I'm going to read the champion lore from Arbais, the Stone Thorn, the mythical in the Sylvan Watchers. Sylvan legends tell of Arbais, the Stone Thorn, a beautiful yet terrible fae who stalks the darkest groves and dangerous frontiers of the Mistwood. Before she was a part, petrified, and embittered shadow of her former self, she began her existence as an altogether more peaceful and harmonious entity. Arbais seeding chrysalis grew up alongside the ancient heart tree near the center of the Mistwood, sharing soil and sunlight with the mighty sentinel. When she was old enough, she dragged up her roots and walked for the first time. She went abroad through the forest, learning its ways and her place within it, communing with birds and beasts, boughs and bark. While she made all of the great woodland her home, she returned often to the heart tree's side, settling her roots back where she had first grown, intertwining them with the others. The heart tree was as a mother, a wise and protective spirit whose rhythm sang Arbais to sleep. When she slumbered, Arbais did so for many years, and during one such period things changed. A darkness spread by the servants of Cyrod erupted from the heart tree. Slowly it twisted and subverted the ancient core of the forest and distorted the rhythm. Arbais' sleep became more fitful and disturbed. As her dreams turned to nightmares, she started awake and discovered, to her horror, that they were not merely her imagination. So I am planning to do more of such readings, as this is an ASMR channel, and so reading in soft voice some of the lore of the game of the Raid Shadow Legends is definitely an interesting thing. I hope you will also like this. The heart tree had been corrupted, evil wormed through its bark and rotted its leaves. Worse, the taint had spread into Arbais' own body, her timber now lousy with the darkness of Cyrod. Sickened and repulsed, she tried first to commune with the heart tree, to warn it, to make it all stop, but it showed no recognition. Growing desperate, she called to the surrounding trees, but they were tainted too. Panicking, she physically tried to scour away the corruption from the heart tree, but found herself breaking and snapping parts of it to no avail. The taint had delved too deeply. As her own agony built and she felt the contagion burrowing into her, Arbais realized that there was only one way she could preserve herself from the foulness: physically separate herself from the tree she had once adored above all else. With great difficulty, Arbais tore her roots away from the heart trees, weeping with pain and sorrow, her whole frame shuddering. They had grown even more entwined during the years she had spent in slumber, and in freeing herself, she ripped away part of the older tree, while at the same time leaving behind part of herself. Arbais stumbled away in a haze of anguish and agony, her lament sending shivers through swaths of the forest. Her survival remained uncertain, as the act of separation had almost come too late. Cut off from the nourishment of the hard tree, her bark began to petrify. Only through her connection to the wider forest was she able to cling onto life. She planted herself for a while in the whispering glade and embraced the sunlight there, and her roots drank of the cool, renewing waters of the green run stream. Slowly her life force became constant and steady again. As she recovered, Arbais discovered a fragment of the heart tree that had been torn away with her roots. Rather than destroy it, she kept it, her attuned nature telling her that though it would be forever damaged, the evil it had once borne had been left behind when she ripped it free. The rhythm still emanated from it, albeit disjointed, and was a reminder of a happier past and a horrifying present. All of the mistwood was threatened by the corruption of the heart tree, and when the forces of the Sylvan and their allies, the Skirion dwarves and Shadowkin rebels of Yakai, finally mustered for the final time to halt it once and for all, they were joined by a beautiful masked woman with flesh as emerald as the forest canopy, who was wrapped in gossamer cloth and who spoke with a voice like the rushing of the wind in the leaves. Arbais could change her form, and when she joined the Sylvan elves, who comprised part of the army's vanguard, she assumed one that they might empathize with more. During the fighting that followed, Arbais struggled unlike anyone else. The sight of the heart tree, warped almost beyond recognition after decades of further corruption, filled her with a fury she had never known before. She led the assault on the corrupt Fey demon spawn and the Mikage autocracy forces that were using the tree as a locus, plunging her roots into their bodies and draining the life from them, her whip vines severing heads and limbs. She set about slaughtering the maddened tainted Fae that assailed her, ripping out their wings and staving in their shrieking features. She wet bitter tears of amber sap and transformed back into her original tree-like form as she fought. Her stony bark was impervious to the blows of beings she had once counted as family, whom she uprooted to clear a path toward the hard tree itself. The struggle to purge the darkness from it was even more painful than tearing herself away from it for Arbais, but by the end, Sirot's evil was cast out. While the hard tree's remains were no longer being defiled by the shadow god, the taint could not be reversed. Arbais could never again peacefully settle among its roots, which were now gouged and charred, or drink from soil upon which now lay the rotting remains of countless fallen warriors. Her soul felt as hollow as the dead husks of the trees of the battle site. For a time after she wandered, for a time after, she wandered the forest, tracking down lingering remnants of the evil forces. Now known as Arbais the Stone-Thorn, she spends years at a time planted at single sites along the border, ever watchful for intruders. So, this is a very nice story, and there are many of such stories in the lore of Raid Shadow Legends. I'm planning to make many more such movies, so subscribe if you want to hear more. And this is an ASMR channel, so I thank you very much and wish you a good night.